Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear students of grade 10, today we are going to have a special lesson. Today we are going to have practical questions for the final exam, of the end of year exam. We call it mock exam. So we are going to have activities regarding the mock exam, the final year exam. So hopefully by the end of today's lesson, you will be able to identify different ways and techniques. This is most important of today's lesson, ways and techniques that you can use them to answer exam questions, listening, vocabulary, grammar, and reading questions. Okay? So we'll start with listening because we have a long list and we haven't got much time. We have, as you know, in the final exam, we have two listenings, listening 1 and listening 2. And listening 2 has two parts, part 1 and part 2. We'll start with listening 1. So there are some things you need to know and you need to do as well before the listening, during the listening, and after the listening. What are these things? Before you listen to the tape, you have to do what? You have to read three things. You have to read, you have to underline, and you have to guess. This is the new thing that most of you don't know about listening. We'll use this. During the listening, of course, you have to answer the questions and be carefully when listening, careful listener. After, you have to check your answers later on. So we'll start with listening number 1. Of course, I'm going to check your answers by the program, as I told you, quizzes, this program. And I'm going to open the quizzes so you can, to save time, then we will try to read the questions. We will read the questions, okay? So as to save time, I need you to, I'll give you a quick screenshot. Take a screenshot quickly so you can join the game quickly, and I have to go back to the listening so you can read the questions, then you will listen, then you answer, okay? So the code is 532709. 532709. Okay. As I told you, listening. First, read the question. What's the question? Okay? You are going to hear a conversation between a publisher and a young writer. So you have to know what are you going to listen to. A conversation means two persons, they are talking together. Okay? Publisher and a young writer. I think we have to... I just did it. Okay. Now, let's listen. First read the questions as we said. Read the questions. We'll start question one by one. The answers, I'll give you ways. How to read a question. 1. The publisher saw Zaki's articles. A, in a newspaper. B, on a website. Or C, in a magazine. So, the publisher saw Zaki's articles where? In a newspaper, on a website, or in a magazine. In which place? Number 2. His articles are about Oman's what? Tourist attractions? Neighbors or traditions? The articles that Zaki has written are about what? Okay, so his articles about Oman's what? 3. He started writing. Zaki started writing at university, at high school, or after graduating from university. So at university or high school or after graduating. Okay. The translation, number 4, the translation of the book will be done by, who is going to translate the book? Zaki's book. Zaki himself, or a professional translator, or Zaki's sister. So one of them is going to translate. Number 5, the book will use photos. The photos in the book are going to be from the internet or publisher's files, from the publisher, or from the ones that are taken by Zaki. Zaki took himself. Number 6, the publisher wants Zaki to change his writing style. So the publisher wants Zaki to what? Change his writing style, or add more information in the book, or design a cover book, a book cover, sorry. Last question, number 7. The book will be published in, the book will be published in 3 months time, or 6 or 12 months time. How many months the publisher needs to publish Zaki's book? Now we read the questions, we underline. Now try to guess the answers. Like that, let's say it doesn't have to be true, but just to put you in the conversation itself. The publisher saw Zaki's articles in a newspaper, website, or a magazine. Maybe newspaper, maybe magazine, maybe website, we don't know. We just pick anything. Okay? His articles are about Oman's tourist attractions, neighbors, traditions. Oman, so about Oman, so maybe logically tourist. He started writing. When did he start writing? University, high school, after graduating? Maybe university, maybe high school, not sure. The translation of the book will be done by Zaki himself, professional, Zaki maybe not free, Zaki's sister maybe, and could be also a professional. What do you think? You will listen now. Okay? And the book will use photos from the internet, from publisher files taken by Zaki. Maybe Zaki wants to take his photos in the book. Okay, to use his photos in the book. The publisher wants Zaki to change his writing style, add more information, or design. The publisher will do it. Change writing style or add more information. I think to ask a writer to change his writing is not good. So could be adding more information, because the writing style is his right. The book will be published in 3, 6, 12 months. 3 or 6 or 12, I'm not sure. Maybe it's long. If it's a long time, maybe 12. It's short time, maybe 3 or 6. Okay, now you will listen. Three minutes or less. Is it clear? Oh my God. Okay, it doesn't work. Okay, I'll just show you the code so you don't forget. 532709. The sound here. Okay, guys, now are you ready to listen? Listen now. Just a second, guys. Okay, now listen.
Zaki,
Carefully.
come in. Take a seat.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It was a bit of a surprise, actually.
We've always liked... Zaki, come in. Take a seat.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It was a bit of a surprise, actually.
We've always liked to encourage young writers like yourself, and we've noticed some of your articles.
You mean in the university magazine?
Yes. Now tell me, how did that start?
Well, I'm a member of the camping club at the university. We travel around the country a lot.
Be careful.
So about 2 years ago, I started writing about all the places we visit.
Interesting. Right, I'll get straight to the point. We have a proposal for you. We want to collect all your best articles in a book.
Wow, really?
Yes, we think that tourists coming to Oman would be very interested in a book of that kind.
Well, this is a surprise. But yes, why not?
Great. Now, the articles you've written are all in Arabic, which is fine, but we would need to have them in English as well.
That's no problem. I can ask my sister. She's in the English faculty and she's an excellent translator.
I'm sure she is, but I'm afraid we need a full-time professional translator. We'll provide you with one, and of course you'll work with them closely and be able to check everything they do.
Okay, I suppose so.
Now, about the photos that'll go in the book. We liked the ones you included with your articles. Did you take them yourself?
Most of them, but not all. I got a few from the internet.
That could cause a problem. They're probably protected by copyright.
Copyright for pictures? I thought that only applied to written work.
No, it can apply to any original creative work of any kind. So, unless you have permission from the original photographers, you can't use their pictures.
In that case, I'll just use my own photos. I've got plenty more.
Good. Just one more suggestion. In your articles, you describe the places you visit beautifully, but there's not very much about the historical background.
Yes, that's true. So you think I should do some research and include it in the book?
Yes, but again, keep in mind the copyright. If you use any information, especially quotations, from any sources, you must mention the names of the original writers.
Yes, of course. So, if everything's agreed and I sign a contract, how long will it take for the book to be published? 2 or 3 months?
Oh, no. From my experience, it'll take 12 months at least. It's a complicated process.
Yes, I'm beginning to see that.
Okay. Now, you listened, you answered, and I would like to see your answers. Of course, in the listening, you will listen twice. But now, because we don't have much time, you will listen just once. Sorry about that. Okay? Okay. You have the answers, so you better answer quickly. You just press the correct answer that you think is correct, so that will save much time of ours. Okay. So let's see your correct answers. So the publisher Sozaki's article, where you see sometimes in a sentence or two will have two answers. He said maybe you have seen your or you have seen it in the university magazine. So by saying that, he answered, by the way, two questions. University magazine. Okay? I answered it for you. Now let's see your answers. I hope you have finished. Well done. Manar, Wad, Ali. Okay, good. Very good. Well done. We have many good answers here. But because I'm afraid that I have to skip it, so I can save much time. Okay. Hisham, Arwa, Ali, Wad, Manar. Well done, guys. Okay. So, as you answered, the correct answers are following. First one, in a magazine. Second one, tourist attractions. Third one, at a university. At university, professional translator, taken by Zaki. Add more information and needs 12 months. Well done, guys. I saw that you have answered correctly. So let's move to listening to part 1 and part 2. By the way, listening to has two parts, as we said. And since last year, here there's no stop between the two parts. So in one listening, you have to answer part 1, the 4 questions, 8 to 11, and part 2 from 12 to 15 at the same time. Okay, you have to answer them at the same time. So, as we said earlier, don't forget the 3 steps: read, underline, guess. You can say rag. Okay, read, underline, and guess the answer. Okay, first, here you are going to hear a woman talking about her career. So a lady is talking about her career, okay, or job. Okay, who? So let's focus here. Who? So here he is asking about somebody. Very good. A person who taught the speaker about herbs and flowers. So here maybe name, maybe somebody in a family or a friend, like that. Number 9, how old was she when she moved? How old means what? Asking about the age. So there is a number. You have to write here a number. Was she when she moved to France? Okay, be careful. When she moved to France, not before. Number 10, in which part of France? So what part of France is Grassy, where she studied perfumes? So she studied perfumes. So the question is about this city. In which part of which part of France? Okay, south, east, north, west, which part? What name did she give to the first perfume that she made? So she made a perfume in a company. She gave it a name. What's that name? Could be 1 or 2 words. Okay. Part 2 here, you have to just say whether this statement is true or false. Okay. She starts her working day in her office. So she goes straight in the office. Is that correct or not? Incorrect. True or false? In recent years, she has started buying perfumes ingredients from India. In recent years, buying ingredients from India. Is that correct? From India or some other place? Her marketing section is making a new catalog. Is that right? Are they making a new catalog or making something else? You have to be careful when listening. Her marketing section. Number 15, she is currently writing a book okay, writing a book about how she, the woman, how she become a successful perfumer. Is the book's focus on the perfume, she becoming successful perfume, or something else? Be careful. Okay, so we have read the questions, underline the keywords, and now you're going to guess if you can guess. If you can't guess, so just write the answers. Make now in a piece of paper, write the answers, because once finished, I will show you the answers immediately. Okay. Okay, sound. Yes, we have a listening now, guys. Be careful. Be careful now. Okay, so number 1, Manar Saidi. Number 2, Waad Aziz. Number 3, Mazna. Well done, guys, ladies. Okay, so let's go now to our quiz. Listening. Are you ready?
Hi, my name's Alice Waddington. I was born in California.
Please be careful. Please be careful. Listen carefully. Okay, just 2 minutes or 3. Now listen.
Hi, my name's Alice Waddington. I was born in California and spent my early childhood there. We lived in a small town in the hills where my dad owned a shop selling traditional medicine. He used to take me out into the forest to help him collect the ingredients for his products. At the same time, he'd explain to me everything about the herbs and spices that we found. My mum, who was French, taught the language at the local high school. Then suddenly, when I was 12, everything changed. My dad died in a climbing accident, so my mum and I moved to France to be close to her family in Paris. It was there that I discovered the world of perfumes. I still remember standing outside the windows of fashionable perfume shops in the city centre, looking at the rows of beautiful bottles and wondering what was inside them. So when I finished school, I decided to go to the place where most of these perfumes are actually made. The town of Grasse, in the southeast of France. There I studied hard and learned everything I could. After graduating, I returned to Paris and started my own perfume business. It wasn't easy at first, but eventually I produced my very first perfume, which I decided to call Blue Sky. Fortunately, it was a huge hit, and the business has been expanding ever since.
Now part 2.
Now, let me tell you about a typical working day. I usually start very early at our research laboratory, where I check how things are going and discuss technical issues and new ideas with my workers. They're incredibly knowledgeable and hard-working, so I always learn a lot from them. Then, at around 10, I go to my office for meetings with salesmen from all over the world. They're the ones who supply us with the ingredients for our perfumes. We used to get most of these ingredients from India and China. But in recent years, we've been switching to new sources in East Africa, especially Kenya and Ethiopia. After lunch with my personal assistant, it's more meetings, this time with our marketing people. At the moment, they're working on a new promotional video for our latest products. You've probably guessed by now that I'm a bit of a workaholic. So you won't be surprised to hear that I'm busy in the evenings too. Right now, I'm working on a book called simply A History of Perfume. It's all about the various uses of perfume in different cultures across the centuries. I'm writing the text in French, but later I'll translate it into English.
Okay, I hope you have finished now writing your answers. Okay, here are the correct answers. Number 8, her father. 9, she was 12-year-old. 12-year-old. 10, in the southeast. 11 was blue sky. Did you notice that the answers are not more than 4 words? You shouldn't write more than 4 words. It's written there in the exam question. You have to read it. Okay, number 12, false. Because first she went to the laboratory, then she went to the office. Not in India, somewhere else. Not catalog. And she was, yes, writing a book, but not about herself. She became a successful. No. So there is something correct in the statement, and there's something incorrect. So it is false. Be careful with this. Okay, guys, that's our listening. That was the listening part. Let's go now to the vocabulary part. We don't have very much time, so we'll not be able to play all the games as we are running out of time. Vocabulary focus mainly on the words. You have to understand the words, understand the meaning, and you have first to read the text, the whole text, before answering anything. Look here. Nobody is quite sure what exactly happened to the Mayan civilization. In 1900 AD, their cities were still what? But 100 years later, after they had been destroyed. So it must be opposite of destroyed. What was it? Excellent, Ahmad. Prosperous. They were what? Prosperous, then they destroyed. Okay. Have put forward many theories of how to explain the civilization. Look in number 2. You have archaeologists, designers, bloggers, managers. Who is in charge of civilizations, history? I'm sure you know that. One theory is that Mayan cities suffered from what? For years. So it caused damage to agriculture, and rivers ran dry. When there is no water, it means what? Which one? Really easy, but just you have to read between the words. Okay? Another theory is that a natural what? Such as earthquake. What do we call earthquake? Volcanoes. What do we call them? These. Yes. Destroyed the cities. Finally, others believe that a harmful illness caused the appearance, discovery, or disappearance, means what? Of the Mayans. You see? When you read between the lines, it will become easy. We have to run now. But 100 years later had been destroyed. That means before what? Prosperous. So, number 2, archaeologists. Of course, archaeologists, because they are in charge of the history and discovery and other things. Not designers, not bloggers, not managers. 3, drought. Cannot be flood because they said what? The rivers ran dry, it became dry. No heavy rains. Because what? There is no water. So how come floods, فيضانات, or heavy rains? Of course, take them out. Famine or drought. So it's drought because rivers run dry. No water in the rivers. Okay? Number 4, such as earthquake. Earthquake is a disaster, not a resource, not energy, not power. Because this explaining something between people. It's not a natural. So a natural disaster. 5, others believe that harmful illness. So they are talking about the Mayan civilization 900 years ago. That means they are what now? Disappeared. So caused the disappearance of the Mayans. Just read between the lines. You can answer it just as quickly as I just did when you read between the lines. Okay? Don't forget to take screenshots. Let's go to grammar. Now, grammar sometimes tricky, sometimes is a piece of cake. For each item, shade in the bubble, use or cover, underline the correct word, answer. Movies are not what interesting as books. Movies are not as books. You learned it before. The Earth's temperature will continue to rise. Okay? The production of greenhouse gases. This is a noun. Okay? Noun. So before noun, what do we use? So, consequently, because or due to. English is what all over the world. After is, third or verb with ing. Be careful here. If you say English is speaking, that means English is speaking now, not somebody. The English, can the language speak? So, number 9, I have what? After have, always use the past participle of the verb. Third one, past participle of the verb. I have living in Sur for 2 years. 10, if she studied hard, she, here. If she studied in the past hard, she what? Passed the exam. Sometimes we do something like what? Instead of looking for the correct answer, look for the incorrect answer. How is that, teacher? Look here. Pass. She passed. The verb pass is the what? Infinitive. Has cannot be correct. Why? Because has, need, and had as well needs what? Yeah, very good, Ahmed. Needs past participle. So cannot, either would or was. Sometimes look for the incorrect answer, not the correct answer. So it will be easy for you now. You just choose between was and would. That's a piece of cake. For number 9, I told you, third what? Past participle. Okay. We are running out of time. Sorry, guys. Let's move to the answers. Movies are not as interesting as. Okay? The Earth's temperature will continue to rise due to, because after due to, use the noun. Due to the temperature, due to the production, due to the something. Okay, so this is a noun. Because you need of after it. Because of something. Consequently, you need to write it in the beginning of the sentence. So needs a verb. So the production of the greenhouse gases, what? So incorrect these ones. English is spoken, because you cannot say speaking, otherwise that means, as saying the laptop is, or the car is driving. No, the car does not drive. I drive the car, so the car is driven. Just say the same thing here. English is spoken. I have been living. If she said hard, she would in the past. Okay, let's move to the section where you struggle a lot. Okay, guys, here we have a reading. And in readings, you have to look here. You have a task, 2 tasks with 8 questions, 4 questions, multiple choices. Before reading, you must read the questions first. Okay? So Belgium has 3, 2, 1 official languages now. How many official languages? The country of Belgium was created in, so created is a country. In which year? 30, 21, or 1930. Dutch or French or German was the only official language for almost 100 years. Which language was the only official one? The most highly populated area, most highly populated area of Belgium is the south or capital city or the north. There. Let's go to true-false questions. The number of French speakers is growing around Brussels. Is it growing, increasing, or decreasing? If it's growing, it's true. If it's not, it's false. Wallonia has the worst unemployment rate. So Wallonia has the worst unemployment rate. Okay, the percentage. True or false? The writer, the one who has written this text, thinks the language problem has an especially bad impact on education. Is that so? Okay. Belgium has many national political parties. Many, not one or two, many political parties. Now, let's go to the reading. And here I advise you to read quickly once, like this one, like this. Follow me. If you look at a map of Western Europe, you will find a small country called Belgium. But you won't find a Belgian language, wow, anywhere. Instead, the country is divided between two languages, okay, here two languages, French and Dutch, okay, French, Dutch, two languages. Or actually three, oh, three, not two, three. If you remember that, German, two is an official language in Belgium, so three official languages here. Though it is only spoken by 1% of the population for centuries, hundreds of years. Belgium was ruled by other countries such as France, the Netherlands, Spain, Germany, and Austria. It only became independent in 1830. Independent called the country in 1830. At first, French was the only official language, but after loud complaints from Dutch speakers, they were in 1883 allowed to speak Dutch first in primary schools and then the law courts. Later, this period to the other areas of life such as universities, but it was not until 1921, nearly 100 years after independence, that Dutch was given an official quality with French. The government decided to create three language regions. They were Flanders in the north with 6.3 million people, Wallonia in the south with 3.5 million, and Brussels, the capital city, with 1.6 million. 1.6 million. Dutch became the official language in Flanders and French in Wallonia. Only in Brussels could both languages be used. Okay, you see how to read? Like this. Not surprisingly, it is in Brussels that the situation is most difficult. The city is located in the middle Dutch-speaking Flanders, but French is spoken by 70% of the people and Dutch by 30%. Look, 70, 30%. The number of French speakers is growing. French speakers in Brussels is what? Growing. And the city expands. These people are moving into formerly Dutch-speaking suburban areas around the city. This is causing a lot of anger. Another problem of the country is that the region of Wallonia is becoming poor, while Flanders is becoming richer. For example, the jobless, no jobs, rate in Wallonia is now close to 20%. 20%. Okay. One unfortunate result is that the people of Flanders often look down on their neighbors in the south as lazy. So the whole country is becoming more and more divided. Because of the language problem, here's the writer is giving his opinion or her opinion. Belgium has no national parties, okay? No national parties, no national newspapers, no national TV channel, and no national school or university curriculum. If it continues like this, the country will certainly break up, and even the name Belgium will disappear from the map of Europe. As you can see, we have done this in 5-6 minutes maybe. Now let's go to answer. As I promised you, you can answer in seconds. Look here, Belgium has how many official languages? 3. So 3 official languages. It's a piece of cake. The country of Belgium was created in, look here, I'll just look at the numbers. 1830 became independent. So 1830 was the only official language for almost 100 years. Let's go back here. 100 years. Depended, the Dutch was given official equality as French. So French. The most highly populated area of Belgium is the highly populated 6.3, 3.5, 1.6. So 6.3, which is going to Wallonia. Flanders in the north with 6.3. So it's what? Flanders in the north. We're looking for the what? Sorry. North. Flanders. The number of French-speaking growing around Brussels. Go back here. Look here. Growing. Which one is growing? French-speaking, Flanders, Wallonia has become borders. French speakers is growing. So it's correct. Wallonia has the worst unemployment rate. Wallonia. And 20%, Wallonia is now close to 2. So it is correct. The writer thinks the language problem has an especially bad impact on education. Let's see. Because of the language, so it is correct. True. Belgium has many national political parties. Let's go back. No national political parties. Just like that. You see? 3, 1830, French, North. True. This is how to what? Answer reading text. First, read the questions, then read the text. Questions, then text. What is the purpose of, let's go to now, because we are running out of time. Reading 2, okay? Reading 2 with WH questions. You will focus on what is the purpose of the purpose, at what time of the day, night, morning, where was the writer when this happened, where, asking about the place, which type of transport was still able, which type of transport was still able to operate after the explosion, type of transport, For how long did the fire last? How long? Okay, why couldn't firefighters put out the fire? Why? Reason. What was the cause of the explosion? Okay, what was the cause of the explosion? When we read the text, you just do, in text like this, an exam, do just like what I have done. Read and try to write the numbers, 11th, okay, 2005. Try to write the numbers and write the most important things. And the sun was just coming up. I had just finished my night. Look, the sun was just coming up. That means what? And I had just finished my night duty and was about to hand over to College Wayne. Now, because we are running out of time, we have to finish the lesson. Just do the things that I had just did with you. What is the purpose of the Buncefield depot, distributing fuel in the UK? Make sure that you don't write more than 4 words. Instead of writing distributing petrol, diesel, kerosene, and aviation fuel, you just write distributing fuel in UK, 4 words. In what time of day did the depot explode? In the morning, because he said what? The sun was just coming up, so it's just in the morning. Where was the writer when this happened? At the fire station. Which type of transport was still able to operate the explosion? Airplanes, because when you see here, it's not affected. For how long did the fire last? 6 days. Why couldn't firefighters put out the fire? Because they ran out of out of water. What was the cause of the explosion? Overfilling of a petrol tank. Now, with writing 1, writing 2, it was done last week with Mr. Sulaiman. Writing 1 about a chart, and writing 2 is about a formal email or a letter. You have done that earlier. So I have given you now a knowledge about some techniques, some ways how to answer reading questions, listening questions, vocabs, and grammar. What you need is to practice. You need what? To practice and practice a practice. That's the answer, the key. That's the key, to practice more. And hopefully see you next year. We are I'm thanking you for your participation in the exam and the other all the other lessons that we have gone together with. Thanks a lot. Stay safe. Please stay home. Stay safe so we can meet you in schools next year. Thank you very much.